Hello, Guru Nation. Welcome back. This is another episode. This is going to be short, 10 minutes or less, with Eric Lombert, better known as How to Clinical Research. We still got to take a picture for Instagram with the bourbon behind
Yes,
us.
that's the best one.
That's a great backdrop. Sponsored by Joey Finro from Keller Williams Realty in Irvine. We're just here talking about real estate, but let's talk about working for a sponsor for a
Okay.
pharmaceutical company.
Yeah.
A mid-sized, right? Mid-sized.
hmm
What is it like? First of all, how did you even get that job?
So I got that job by having prior sponsor experience. So usually when you go onto the sponsor level, they want you to have experience, right? So you have to find an area or a company that allows you to maybe not have experience, but you sold yourself so well that you got in. So I did that with the first sponsor. And then the second sponsor that I work at now, that one, they wanted someone that already knew the job, didn't need training,
Mhm.
and could just walk in and start doing things. And so since I already had that experience, that was how I leveraged that.
So you said something important. They jump in and start doing things.
hmm
So how important is attitude? Like, you
Yeah,
know
you,
how I
you have to
always
be
talk about
confident.
being a generalist? You got to be willing to do things others are not. And
hmm
I know you have a lot of that in you from the interactions we've had. But how important is that for like the people watching? Like,
Yeah.
what advice do you have for somebody?
So confidence is everything, and being able to present yourself in a professional way that's believable to the other person, that's everything, right? So it's what you say. So what I say is you always give examples through the experiences that you've had when you answer your questions. So when they're asking you something, you want to say, yeah, I've done that, and this is my experience and how I was able to do that, and this is what I learned from it. And from that, I was able to better myself in whatever way. Right? This is how you want to answer the questions. And so when you say it like that, it's believable, and they like you. And if you're able to answer things without them needing to ask you, then that makes you even more. I think it makes you stand out even more to them, and they would choose you over someone else that maybe they needed to pry questions from, but that has the same amount of experience. Even
Hmm.
the fact that they didn't need to ask you or pry tells them that you know the job essentially.
What is your day to day like? Are you working? You told me earlier you're working from home full
Yeah,
time
100%
remotely.
remote.
100% remotely.
Yeah.
So, what is like your day to day? Like, are you always doing something different, or are you pretty much focused like on certain projects until they complete?
Yeah,
Walk us through what you do.
typically you're put on one study, and you're it depends how they structure it, but with mine, I'm the leader of that trial, so it's just me and the project manager essentially. You work on everything related to that study till it's over with. But from day to day, especially working remote, I just work in my PJs a lot of times. So
Yeah,
wake up,
a lot of Zooms.
yeah, a lot of webinars. So you just log in, you check your emails, you work on anything that you might have been working on before,
Yeah.
or something you haven't gotten to yet. So that could be something like ICF reviews, checking the ETMF for completeness, looking at new data entries in the EDC to see if new patients that were enrolled, if they put in the data,
Hmm.
reviewing invoices, approving them,
Yeah.
depending on what's in the EDC or what's in the ETMF or anything else that's related to that invoice, especially comparing to like the CTA that's fully executed.
So you're a real generalist. You have Lombard Industries,
hmm
which you help sites get started. We're actually, thanks to your commercial realtor Christian, we're opening up with a new
Oh,
clinic next
yeah,
week.
yeah,
I was telling Joey
cool.
about that. You also have like site experience. You have experience running sites.
Yes.
So I'm assuming you got that first before the sponsor.
Yeah, yeah. So the way that I related my prior experience to the sponsor experience was that as a coordinator, as a site manager, as whatever you want to call yourself, you work directly with the sponsors and the monitors specifically. So you're working hand in hand with them. So when
Hmm.
you go apply for these CRA jobs, you have to speak about your experience as if you were that monitor, because you were conducting the STVs with them, or the site monitoring visits with them.
Yeah.
You're performing the STV. You were working on the EDC or uploading things into the ETMF. It's the same exact thing.
Hmm.
You just don't want to go around talking about, oh, I did however many blood draws, I saw this many patients, because that's not relatable. You talk about the relatable things to the job, and that's how you get those positions.
So you went from site to CRA,
Yeah, to CRA.
and
Mhm.
now what's your title?
Still CRA.
Oh,
But
CRA.
yeah,
Okay.
I have a lot of more responsibilities where I'm at right now, though. So
Okay. Yeah, I know you've
likely
been
would
doing a
be
lot of site
promoted
selection
pretty
stuff.
soon.
You were
Yeah.
asking me if I knew certain sites. So you're always looking for sites. Like how does that work
That's
as
with
a
my
small
company.
sponsor?
That's with my company. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So through my company, Lumber Industries, I search for
Oh,
sites
that's
and
through Lumber
mm-hmm,
Industries. I
mm-hmm.
see.
Yeah, yeah.
With the sponsor, you're not really in charge of like site procurement or anything like that.
I'm part of it, but yeah, we're for the study that I'm in, we're not looking for new ones at the moment.
I see.
Hmm.
I see.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I always tell people like if you want to get started, start at the site level because you're gonna learn. Like that's where all the action is.
Yeah, I think it's more valuable. So like, there's people that have only ever worked on the sponsor level,
Yeah.
and I don't know how that even happens. They must have got in really early, but
Yeah.
like, they've been only on the sponsor level, and I think that's less valuable to the industry. You want someone that's well rounded. Anytime someone's going to hire a director or a VP, they want someone that understands both sides of the industry, that
Yeah.
understands FDA regulations and submitting to the FDA, as well as managing a site and what makes a good PI, what makes a good
Mhm.
site, how to
Mhm.
identify them, right? So they want people that understand that, but also the inner workings of the sponsor, like how does working with cross-functional teams work, and
Yeah.
what's important to a sponsor versus what's important to a site, and how to make those needs balance.
It's where the rubber meets the road is
Hmm.
where the site is. I always use the analogy like if the sponsor is like a car, you have to design the car, then you get to the wheel, you design it, and then the road is like the sites. And
Hmm.
then where the rubber meets the road, that's like where all the activity happens at that point, just
Right.
at the site level.
Yeah.
And then you have the patients in the car wherever they're going.
Right. Right.
Right? So that's like this is why I think the site level is so important because that's literally where all the action
Hmm.
is, where all the action happens, and attitude is the most important thing to get
Right.
your foot in the door.
Right.
And by the way, same thing is true in real estate. I talk to Joey about this all the time. You get some realtors probably downstairs, or maybe they're the ones not here. They don't put in the work,
Yeah.
and then you have the other ones. They got the can-do attitude. I'll do anything it takes.
Yeah. I mean, so when you're talking about people like that, right? You take your money, however you get that money, and you have to view that money as an opportunity source, and you should use that along with your experience to make other investments. So make a company, buy stocks, buy real estate, get rental properties,
And you're big on that
whatever
on
it
your
is.
how-to research on
Right.
Instagram. Guys, go follow
Hmm.
him. We'll put links underneath. Thank you, Eric. I know you got to
Yeah.
go.
Not a problem.
Thank you, Joey, for hosting us. We're gonna have some
Thank you.
bourbon right now, and catch you guys later.
Cool. Bye.